Hey everybody, it's Lori here at A Voice in the Dark on YouTube, spiritscrossing.net. And listen, you see all the new age and the new spiritual stuff and oh, churches fighting with each other or fighting to be number one. There is no number one. There is no one way to God. There's many paths to God. Create your own, is what I'm going to tell you. Create your own. But make that relationship. It's a personal relationship. And there is no sin. There is right and wrong. We have laws to cover that. But the soul is on a journey of learning about all those things that are dark and light. The soul's making its choice by learning from all of it, even becoming some of it sometimes. One lifetime you might be the monster. In another lifetime you might be the victim of a monster. That's why you can't judge people. You don't know what their true path is and how far up the path they are to God and becoming a God themselves. The path is what we take. We make it ourselves. There is no judgment from God. God wants you to be everything you feel inside for this lifetime, because we come in here with a blueprint of what we want to be, experience, etc. And the big key here is to feel and be everything you are. Get healing if you need it, and it can be healed. I'm all for professional psychiatric help, but I'm also into esoteric and new age help, natural help. So get a hair follicle test from a proper chiropractor that deals in that, and find out what trace minerals you're missing, and then also find a good hypnotist. That's a hypnotist that's used to different types of regression work that either has past lives involved or, alien abductions. You never know. Just so that they won't be surprised. Because you don't know what your real path is either. And just how far you've come and how far you'll go. The thing is that you need to be your unique self. We don't fit in boxes. None of us do. We're not meant to. The true souls on the planet do not fit in boxes at all. And we're meant to embrace that uniqueness. We're meant to become all that we can be as that personality. And I know a lot of arguments out there about the personality and the ego. The ego is a chemical thing about our brain that helps protect us. We can't say, let's get rid of the ego. Matter of fact, what you need to do, just like you do your child self, because that needs healed the most usually, and you embrace that child. Well, you got to embrace your ego, because your ego has helped protect you all these years. But now you're moving into something bigger and better and beyond pain and hurt. You're moving into something very joyous and beautiful. So embrace the ego. Thank it for helping you all these years. But that now, instead of being on automatic, that you want to look at things a little differently, maybe. Have a different perspective on them. And to help you find those things that make you feel nervous or pain or hurt, anxiety, and ask it to help you see it in another light so that we can change those things, so that we aren't treating everyone that way, or the whole world that way, which is usually protective. We don't want to be near it, And eventually you got to get back out in life, because we're social beings, number one. And number two, we are meant to be experiencing a whole lot of life down here and living it. So get the help. But always incorporate multiple levels of help, because not any one is perfect by itself. It takes different levels of help, you know. And I really encourage people to do that because it really works. And EFT works, and there's a new one. I'm going to mess up the initials, BMT, EMB, I don't know. It's where they use the light, your eyes go back and forth. That one really helps. But it also erases the memory, and I'm kind of against erasing memories. I am all for facing the memory and then seeing it in a different perspective by embracing my personal responsibility for that memory, that action, or whatever I put up with. Well, why'd you put up with it that long? Well, I did because this. Well, that's taking personal responsibility. Now forgive the person, forgive yourself, and let's move on. So I make it sound easy. It is not always easy. It's easy once you do it. It's the hard part is getting yourself to do it. And but it's worth it. You should. But the thing is that we were born with specific personalities. Even if this is just a matrix, even if it's just a program that we're hooked up to, the point is we're brought in as a specific type of personality, a specific set of parameters that we knew that we would fall into somehow. This would be the best possible way of falling into it. That's why we pick our parents and et cetera, et cetera. Because we're meant to be this personality having these experiences and how it affects us and how we get over it. So be who you are. Unless you're being mean, then get help. Because lashing out and being mean isn't going to work. I lash out at the gods when I'm mad because they got big enough shoulders to take it. I try not to take it out on people. But I also have a silver tongue, and usually if they push me too far, I put them in their place. But the point is get help and follow your heart. You have to break free of the matrix. The only way to do that is to follow your own heart, your own soul. Those little nudges, they're soft. When God speaks to us, this universe or source, however you want to call it, it's all the same. And I hate to bust anybody's bubble, but it is. But the key there is learn to meditate and learn a discipline so that you're in a code of honor. Just remember that no matter what you pick as a code of honor and in discipline and a religion, whatever, don't have any strong opinions through these things. Because as soon as you build a real strong opinion on something, like you would do this or you would do that, because you're being judgmental against another person, you're going to have an experience that'll put you in a position to make that same type of choice. So you might want to check your judgments real soon. Life is speeding up, so that means the matrix is speeding up and giving us more and more of what we want and what we focus on. And it's incredibly imperative to switch as fast as you can. But if you don't, this will help you get through the next cycle. And that is be all that you feel you are, because you're enough. And every soul is here having an experience. We're souls. We're immortal. There is no beginning and end. It just is. Everything just is. So don't let them put you in a box. Don't let them hook you up to some mechanical, digital frequency in your brain, because it's going to screw up your natural frequency and opening, radio signal or whatever, to source. Super consciousness. So I want you all to think about that really hard, because you don't want to ruin that, because then you just become a machine. And I'm sorry, but machines can't give you what superconsciousness can. So I'm trying to encourage everyone to meditate, find a discipline, whether it's karate, tai chi, qigong, or whatever, yoga. But serious yoga, not the new age yoga. And learn to commune with God, yourself. Like I said, it's a personal response. It's a personal relationship. And God has never failed me. And for every life thing I went through that was horrible and I couldn't stand it, and I was hurt, I would scream at God. Of course, I think he's got earplugs for when I start screaming. And he waits a couple hours, and then I'm done, and then I bawl. And then I start crying my eyes out. I'm sorry, I know it's my fault. I know you told me not to do it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so God gets an earful from me. But he also gets to listen to me, and he likes it when I sit and talk to him and I tell him the things I'm observing and seeing and experiencing, and the confusion or the questions it's creating in me as a human having, well, a soul having a human experience. So I just cannot tell you enough how to make that a personal relationship. It doesn't matter how you worship and how you have your spiritual practices or whatever. It's the relationship that's important, and having faith. And one of the things I never put my faith in was money with God, because I had a really, really bad, heartbreaking past life that left me penniless in a wealthy home and 5 children, and no way to make ends meet. And the wealthy, that were our friends originally, all shunned me because I didn't have the money anymore. I didn't have I didn't have the husband anymore. And it was very difficult for me. So in this lifetime, I vowed to never allow another soul to hold me hostage in any way, shape, or form, and especially money. But it also created a negative lack mentality in me, and it kind of ran in the family, that that didn't help my life situation. It actually made it very difficult. But I told God, I said, look here, I made it this far. By George, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I made it, and and he's like, yeah, you did. Pat yourself on the back. And I didn't have to worry about what other people thought. I lived life on my terms. And it's not always been easy, and I won't lie about it. But it's also been very fulfilling and wild sometimes. And Lord, this has got to be a lesson, And sometimes God has said, no, don't. I said, oh, come on. And I'd listen, And I was like, and you can always tell I'm weighing the scales, like, what's the price I'm going to pay for this one? So, and you know that you're on the road for ascension when you have karma that is immediate, because my karma's always been immediate. So are my blessings. And, but what you got to do is, I finally realized that I hadn't put my faith in God with my money. I did with my time, my work, my children, my everything, except money. And finally, I had no choice but to throw up my hands and say, okay, you got me. I'm putting my faith in, you've got my money too. You've got my bills, you got my wealth. And so far, it's been just fine. You got to give up the worry, and you have to really have that faith. God, if you're going to have faith, he's going to test you. and he's going to test you again. And those tests, believe it or not, is what actually gives you your strength and your confidence in your faith. So don't take it so hard. Don't take it personal when things aren't going so hot. Go inside and think, okay, where's my faith falling here? And then, get it checked back up. And I talk about it a lot because, people say I make things look easy. And maybe I do, But it wasn't easy all the time. And, but when I needed anything, I asked for it. And, I even would say, can you bring it at a cost I can afford, And sure enough, I'd get it. And so I never really had to worry. I had a friend that we were talking one day, and she was all worried about this, and I said, stop. I said, think about this. I want you to just think about this, because it's the truth. We've known each other for eons, for years. And she's my oldest best friend. And I said, think about all the shit we've been through. Think of all of it. Did we not make it through all of it? And she thought about it, and she said, yeah, you're right. I said, so why would we worry? We made it through with worry. I wonder how quickly we'd get through it, and better we would get through it if we just didn't worry and we put our faith in it. Leave it up in God's hands. We know God's got it. I ain't going to worry about it. It'll be all right. And just leading me somewhere else, leading me to do something else. And stop worrying, because worry just kills the now moment. And that's all there really is. And coming to that realization is probably the hardest thing for me, because I'm a armchair daydreamer. And, when you're feeling a low energy, like feeling sorry for yourself or, lonely, then you start daydreaming about the past. And, but when you can finally calm it all down and get in the present moment really is the only thing that's real right now. Right now. So, allow yourself right now. And don't let things worry you. Don't let them upset you. Don't let them bring you down, because you don't have to. It's just what it is, and there'll be something else that'll open up. When one door closes, another door opens, sometimes 2 or 3. You get to make a choice. So just listen to that inner calling. It's a gentle voice. God source doesn't talk loud like we do. Oh no. Talks in whispers. That's why we have to be still and calm and meditate. Because once we start meditating, what we're doing is aligning our soul with the soul attachment here to our bigger soul, so that we can hear on a regular basis. It's like when you're taking long drives. That's a form of meditation almost. So if you're doing the meditation at home, where you're sitting and calming and aligning, deep breathing, and if you're allowing that routine on a regular basis, daily if possible, twice a day if you can, then those car rides will be epiphany moments. I had to put a recorder on my phone so that I could record when I'm having these moments, where there's so much clarity all of a sudden, and you start getting these ideas, and it's like, oh my gosh, and sometimes I forget to even turn the recorder on and say something, and I'm trying to get better at that, because the older you get, the more you have trouble with pulling back immediately what you were just thinking. And so anyway, I'm just trying to encourage everyone out there that God's real. superconsciousness is real. And until you feel your internal strong connection with that entity, with the source of the universe, which is everything, until you feel that strength, lean on it. Lean on something greater than you. It's okay until you finally get that balance and health and you feel it. It takes time. So lean on the universe. Lean on that which is bigger than you and greater than you. But you are a substantial and integral piece of that energy, that force. So may the force be with you, and never give up. And you're always enough, always. Because everything you're going through is important for source, for you, for your soul. It's all important. So walk through it. But when you're ready and you know it's time to go, whatever it is, especially bad situations, go inside and ask yourself, what can I learn about myself from this? And how can I grow from it? And allow that knowledge to come through and come forward for you. And walk through it and get through it. And then allow that next chapter to begin. Sometimes you got to take time out, and that's okay too. Everything that you feel you need to do is okay. Some people come here only to be addicted to drugs, and that's okay. Because their soul path is to be addicted to it, and then their next lifetime might be to never touch it again. Or who knows? I mean, we don't know. But everything that's happening for everyone is what their soul path is at right now. But you can't judge them because you don't know who they are and where they're at on the hierarchy of the soul journey. They may have just come into this life to teach you a lesson of acceptance and non-judgment, and to realize that other people's paths are their paths. And as parents, we got to let go because it's their journey. We're only here to help encourage them to be the best they can be at whatever it is they're going to end up being. And moral support periodically, but for the most part, you got to learn that this is their path, not yours. And that's one of the hard ones. But I'm here to tell you that it is the right way. And that it's okay. It's okay to let go. It's okay to see what your next part of your journey is going to be. It's okay. And for all those that are feeling different and are going through spiritual warfare, which is very real, don't doubt it. It's very real. But the way to understand it right now is it's a battle in yourself, but the energy that's battling you is very real, okay? I don't want you to think that it's not, because it is. However, it'll go away and dwindle as soon as you face all your fears, all your judgments, all your negative attitudes, because you're on ascension. Once you're on ascension, it hits hard. And the quickest way through it is to understand that this life force, this energy force, is meant to attack you because it's meant to make you get through all your fears. You can't enter heaven without losing all your fears, your angers, your resentments, your judgments. I had to give up a few that were really hard to give up. I still got one that I'm dealing with. But that's God. I mean, God, that's what he keeps saying. You got to forgive God. I go, well, I don't know. No, eventually I will completely. I mean, there's multiple gods. There's only one in particular I'm really pissed at, maybe two or three. And I'll get over it. And for my own good. Before they lose patience with me. No, that won't happen. But anyway, it's real. You're not going crazy. It's very real. However, it's because you got fear deep inside of you. You need to face it. You might have an addiction you need to face. You might have something that's dragging you down, lower vibration. Anyway, when you're on ascension, you got to drop all that crap. And I mean all of it. So they're going to stick with you like flies on shit for no better. It's one of the best descriptions because it's irritating, to say the least. And pesty, it's just. And the only way and the quickest way to get through it is to sit down with yourself and really be honest and face your fears, face your resentments, your judgments, all your negative bullshit. Because that's all it is bullshit. And I don't care what it amounts to, it all boils down to there's either fear or love. To get to the love, which is heaven and the higher realms, to get to that and open your heart up completely and to understand unconditional love completely, you really have to release all your fears. And it's not easy, but they make it worse. So if you want to get out from under the thumb of these energies, and that's what they call spiritual warfare, their whole job is to keep coming at you as long as you have a fear inside of you. So find out what it is and walk through it. Face it. And one of mine is a big one, and it's really held me up for a long time, so I really got to work on it in multiple lifetimes, so I really have to face it this time. It's not easy. Shit. But it's possible. I've gone through a lot. So I can at least tell you from experience that life can be wondrous and beautiful again. What we're seeing in the world right now, all the chaos and all the crap, that's this force that I'm talking about, this energy source, energy force that's negative. I mean, they're shoving it on us now. They're just shoving it. And the more ridiculous it is and hateful and heinous appearing, the more it's fake. But it's to stir you up and trigger you, because they want to keep you in the lower energies. Well, when they trigger you, when you got a trigger and you respond, oh, Lord, they love it to death, because now they've got you. Because you're not ascending anymore. You've stopped. You've started moving back down where they're at. Don't let them. Have empathy and compassion and send it out in love, in prayers, or gifts, if you can help. But that's all you can do. Do what you can do. If all you can do is say a prayer for someone, say a prayer. Do what you can do. That way you feel good about you and how you've handled whatever. Because that's all you can do. All one person can do is what they can do. Do not carry the weight of what you're seeing in this world on your shoulders. It's not yours to carry. Give it to God. That's who carries it. Don't allow them to disturb your ascension. Go into deeper meditation if you have to. And because I'm going to tell you, deep down inside of you, anything that triggers you, it's because it's something you didn't face in a past life. Or this one. So find a way to deal with it. Find help. I mean, there's all kinds of good spiritual help out there. There's good hypnosis out there and good psychiatric care. The only thing I don't like about psychiatric care And I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. And that's the reason I always encourage a good hypnotherapist. Because we want to get over what our problem is. We don't want to just constantly talk about it because that keeps us there. What we want to do is go in and see it, feel it, and let it go. Because once you see it and feel it, it's gone. You don't have to deal with it no more. So find a good hypnotherapist. I always say get professional help too, but you'll know when you're healed. You'll know. And then just keep up with things, you know. As something comes up, you know it's something that you haven't dealt with. Deal with it. Now you know how. But most of all, listen. You got to get down to where you can listen to those whispers. And you can do that daily. And get out in nature. And if you're feeling stressed or you know, a lot of negativity going on in the house, you know, fighting and screaming and yelling, you know, and all people are on different paths. And some are just karmic, and some are just filler for your life. So don't worry about them. So that your experience is full. But they're not even real souls, they're clones. A program. That's it. So don't let anyone take you off your unicorn. You have a right to ride that unicorn. You have a right to have your fantasies. You have a right to dream of beautiful worlds and wonderful worlds and create it. So get busy creating it. Something better for yourself. It's your world. You'll learn that eventually. It's your world. So treat it as such. If you want it to be better, fix it. How do you fix it? By fixing yourself. That's it. And the rest, it just has to mold to what you are. So become the best version of yourself. And the world has to adapt and change according to what you are, because it's yours. We all share this world, but it will show us this and give us this, whatever we're feeling inside. So if you feel a lot of fear, you're going to notice everything that's horrible. If you're full of love, you're going to see a lot more that's more loving and positive and cool. So it's your choice. The choice is big right now. Which choice do you want? And that's how to get through those energies. They're real. They're very real. And but they can't hurt you. They can try to scare you into hurting yourself, but they can't hurt you. So stand up to them and just tell them, hey, out. That's not my thought. That's not how I feel. Yes, I have a fear today, but you know what? It's normal to have this fear today for something. And as my day goes on, it'll go away. It always does. So, you know, don't let it run your life. And it does it through your head. So, but it is real. So, stay strong out there. And I love yous. Have a good one. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.